How to get shortlisted for UN and INGO jobs. A complete CV, cover letter, and application strategy. Introduction. If you have been applying for United Nations or international non-governmental organization jobs and hearing nothing back, this video is for you. Getting shortlisted in this competitive space is not about luck. It is about understanding exactly what hiring managers are looking for, and presenting yourself in the language and format they expect. Today, we are going to cover everything from the structure of your CV, to how to write a cover letter that actually gets read, to the less obvious strategies that consistently get candidates shortlisted. This is the video I wish I had when I first started applying to the international development sector. Let us get into it. Understanding the UN and INGO recruitment landscape. Before we talk about CVs and cover letters, you need to understand how recruitment actually works in this sector. The United Nations system is not one organization. It includes dozens of agencies, funds, and programs, each with its own recruitment process. UNDP, UNICEF, WHO, WFP, UNHCR, ILO, and many others all hire independently. Similarly, INGOs like Oxfam, Save the Children, IRC, World Vision, Mercy Corps, and hundreds of others each have their own requirements. This is important because there is no single application strategy. You must research each organization's culture, strategic priorities, and competency frameworks before applying. Hiring in this sector is highly competitive. For mid-level positions, it is not uncommon to receive 300 to 1,000 applications. The shortlisting process is often the first filter, and many candidates never make it past an automated review or an initial HR screening. Your job is to make it impossible for a reviewer to pass over your application. The P11 form and why it matters. Many UN agencies, particularly UNDP, UNICEF, and UNFPA, require applicants to complete a P11 form in addition to or instead of a traditional CV. The P11 is a standardized personal history form that captures your educational background, employment history, languages, references, and other professional information. A critical mistake many applicants make is treating the P11 as a formality. It is not. The P11 is often the primary document used for shortlisting. Every field in the P11 must be completed with the same level of detail and strategic thinking you would bring to a tailored CV. Do not leave fields blank. Do not write "See attached CV." Each section of the P11 must stand on its own. For organizations that use an applicant tracking system, the P11 is what gets parsed for keyword matching. Fill it out completely, use relevant keywords from the job description, and quantify every achievement you mention. Writing a results-oriented CV that gets noticed. For organizations that accept a free-format CV, the standard is clear, results-oriented, concise, and tailored. A UN or INGO CV is not a job description of what you were responsible for. It is a record of what you actually achieved. The difference between these two approaches is the difference between getting shortlisted and getting rejected. Every bullet point in your work experience section should follow this structure: what you did, how you did it, and what result it produced. Use specific numbers wherever possible. Do not say you managed a team. Say you led a team of 12 staff across 3 field offices. Do not say you improved program delivery. Say you reduced program delivery timelines by 30% through the introduction of a revised monitoring framework. Your CV should ideally be no more than 3 to 4 pages for mid to senior level positions. It should begin with a professional profile or summary that is customized to the specific role you are applying for. Hiring managers often read dozens of applications in a single sitting. The first 5 lines of your CV determine whether they continue reading. Make those lines count. The cover letter strategy that gets you shortlisted. The cover letter is where many qualified candidates lose ground they should have kept. There are 2 common mistakes. The first is writing a cover letter that simply summarizes what is already in the CV. The second is writing a generic letter that could be sent to any organization for any role. Neither of these approaches works. Your cover letter should accomplish 3 things. First, it should demonstrate that you understand the organization's mission, the specific challenges in the thematic area, and how the role you are applying for fits into the broader strategic picture. This requires research. Read the organization's annual reports, recent strategy documents, and any publicly available evaluations of the programs you would be working on. Second, your cover letter should tell a compelling narrative about why you are the right person for this specific role at this specific moment. Not just any role, and not just any time. Connect your experience directly to what is being asked for in the job description. Third, your cover letter should demonstrate motivation that goes beyond career advancement. Hiring managers in this sector are looking for mission alignment. They want to know that you care about the cause, not just the contract. Be specific about what draws you to the organization's work, and be genuine. Generic enthusiasm is easy to spot and does not help your application. Tailoring your application to the job description. This is one of the most important and most frequently neglected aspects of a successful application. Many candidates write one CV and one cover letter and send them to dozens of organizations. This approach almost never works. Every application must be tailored to the specific job description in front of you. Here is how to do it. Start by identifying the most frequently repeated words and phrases in the job description. These are the competencies, themes, and skills that the hiring team considers essential. Your CV and cover letter must reflect these exact terms, not synonyms, not paraphrases. If the job description says results-based management, your documents should say results-based management. If it says gender mainstreaming, use that exact phrase. Applicant tracking systems are often used to filter candidates before a human ever sees the application. These systems scan for keyword matches between your application documents and the job description. Failing to mirror the language of the job description is one of the most common and most costly mistakes in this sector. Beyond keywords, make sure your most relevant experience is featured prominently. If the role focuses on humanitarian response, lead with your humanitarian experience. If it is a development programming role, lead with development. Structure your CV to put the most relevant information first. Understanding core competencies and UN values. Every UN agency and most major INGOs assess candidates against a defined set of core competencies. For the United Nations, these include professionalism, respect for diversity, integrity, planning and organizing, communication, teamwork, and depending on the level, leadership, empowerment, and managing performance. Your application must demonstrate evidence of these competencies, not just claim them. Do not simply write excellent communication skills in your CV. Provide evidence of those skills through your achievements. How have you communicated complex ideas to diverse audiences? How have you facilitated negotiations or produced analytical reports that influence decisions? When drafting your cover letter and responding to competency-based interview questions later in the process, use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. This structured approach helps you tell concise, credible stories that directly address what hiring panels are looking for. LinkedIn and professional online presence. Your online presence is increasingly part of the screening process. Many recruiters in the international development sector actively search LinkedIn before, during, and after reviewing applications. Your LinkedIn profile should be consistent with your CV. Inconsistencies between dates, titles, or organizations are a red flag. Your profile should include a clear professional headline that reflects your area of expertise, a compelling summary, and detailed descriptions of your experience that mirror the language you use in your CV. If you have published reports, policy briefs, conference presentations, or any publicly available professional work, link to them or upload them as media. Thought leadership content on topics relevant to your field, whether written, shared, or commented on, signals engagement and expertise. Follow the organizations you are targeting and engage meaningfully with their content. Recruiters do notice when a candidate demonstrates genuine interest in the organization's work over time, not just at the moment of application. Networking within the UN and INGO system. Many people in international development underestimate the role that networking plays in recruitment. A significant number of positions are filled through a process where internal referrals and informal recommendations narrow the field before the formal announcement even goes live. This does not mean the process is unfair. It means that being known, respected, and recommended by people already inside these organizations is a genuine advantage. How do you build this network? Start with alumni groups from your university, especially if you attended institutions with strong development sector track records. Attend webinars, conferences, and sector events, even virtual ones, and follow up with people you connect with. Informational interviews are underused and highly effective. Reach out to people working in roles similar to the ones you want and ask for a 30-minute conversation to learn about their experience. Most people in this sector are generous with their time if approached respectfully and specifically. Be persistent but not transactional. Build genuine relationships, not a contact list. Common mistakes that kill your application. Let us talk about the mistakes that eliminate candidates who are otherwise qualified. Applying to every role regardless of fit is one of the most common. It signals a lack of strategic focus and dilutes your energy. Instead, target roles where you meet at least 70 to 80% of the stated requirements and where you can make a genuine case for your candidacy. Submitting generic, untailored applications is the second major mistake, which we have already covered. The third is ignoring required qualifications. Many applicants apply for roles they are not qualified for based on education or years of experience. These applications are typically screened out automatically. Read the requirements section carefully and only apply if you genuinely meet the minimum criteria. The fourth mistake is a lack of quality control. Spelling errors, inconsistent formatting, outdated information, or failure to follow the application instructions are all grounds for immediate rejection. Have at least 2 people review your application before you submit it. And finally, applying to only advertised roles is a limiting strategy. Many positions are filled before they are publicly advertised, or through rosters and talent pools that organizations maintain for surge recruitment. Register on every relevant roster for the agencies and organizations you are targeting. What happens after you apply? Understanding the typical recruitment timeline in this sector will help you manage expectations and plan your approach. After the application deadline closes, shortlisting can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months, depending on the organization and the volume of applications received. The shortlisting process typically involves an initial HR screen for minimum requirements, followed by a technical review by the hiring manager, and then a final selection of candidates to be invited for interview. If you are shortlisted, you will typically be given a few days to 2 weeks' notice before the interview. Some organizations use written tests or technical assessments as part of the process. Others use panel interviews with structured competency-based questions. Prepare for both. If you are not selected after applying multiple times to similar roles, request feedback where possible. Many organizations will not provide detailed feedback, but some will, and that feedback is invaluable. Treat every application as a learning opportunity, and refine your approach based on what you observe. Key takeaways. Let us consolidate the most important points from everything we have covered. 1. Understand each organization's culture, strategic priorities, and competency frameworks before applying. 2. Complete the P11 form with the same rigor as a tailored CV, and never leave fields blank. 3. Make every bullet point in your CV a results statement with specific numbers and outcomes. 4. Write a cover letter that demonstrates organizational research, narrative relevance, and genuine mission alignment. 5. Mirror the exact language of the job description in your application documents. 6. Demonstrate core competencies through evidence, not claims. 7. Build and maintain a professional online presence that is consistent and active. 8. Invest